Hello guys, welcome back to the lovely trading video. In this one we're going to be doing a Sunday watch list on stocks we think should be moving within the week of August 16th. So to start it off, we're going to be going over Tesla, ticker TSLA, and we're looking for one key move on this, and that will be the break through this 750 level. So right now we are kind of consolidating around this 725 area, and that's most likely just because we have the first deviation here and we haven't tested this in some time. So once we can pick up some momentum and some buying power, we'll most likely break through this level, and that real test will be at this 750 level. Reason for this is the statistical mean on the daily chart, and what usually happens at these statistical means is you either get a strong bounce off it either side. So either Tesla could crash back down, or we could see some new strength to the upside. To the downside, which I don't think is actually as likely, as it's just been quite weak the last few months, but we would have buy targets of around 615 to around 565 would be good areas to get within these bounds. But what's more likely is, if we clear this and go up, is that Tesla will continue up, test this 750 level, either break straight through with high volume, strong momentum, or maybe bounce off here for a bit, come back down to this 725 level, retest, break through is what's more likely. And this would be a good area maybe to get long, is if we can break through this with good momentum at around this 755 level. And we would be looking for profit targets of around 808, which is the second deviation on the 4 hour, all the way up to around 809, 890, sorry, would be another good level, for the main reason being it's a third deviation on the 4 hour and also the first deviation on the daily. And that's why I'm giving that quite a high price target, because obviously that is quite a big move, but going to the third deviation is quite hard to do, especially on a large cap stock such as Tesla. But it would only mean that we would be hitting the first deviation on the daily, and that's what makes me believe that we will push this high. So in summary, break through this 750 level, and then we should hopefully continue up to 808. And a bit more of an ambitious target would be around just under 900 at around 890. Again, if it comes to the downside, we would be looking to get long around 615 all the way down to 565. So that's it on Tesla. So now let's go over Beyond Meat, ticker BYND. And for this, we're looking at two key levels, and that's around that 212.90 or 80 area to around $111 and around 50 cents. So the reason we are looking for these levels is it tested it over here, bounced off, we got a strong push off, which is usually what we look to, into this statistical mean, and that was on both the daily and the 4 hour that we hit the statistical mean, and now we're starting to back trend downwards. So what will most likely happen is we will retrace back to this 112 to 111 area, which would be quite good because we can re-get long. So those would be the key levels we would be looking for, and we would be having a price target of around 130. Well, 130 would be our key price target, unless you feel a bit more bullish on it and you think it will continue. Our main high profit target would be around that 146 to around 150, 149 area. So that's it on Beyond Meat. Next we're looking at is Playboy. This we did actually do an analysis on earlier this week on what we were looking for, and we said right now we are kind of consolidating in this $27 to $31 area, and what will most likely happen is we would break down further, which is starting to come true now. Reason for this is obviously it got very hyped up on all the NFT news they had before, and when a stock becomes very overbought, especially on hype, it will tend to become very oversold before kind of returning to its mean. And this $27 to $30 area did seem a bit too high for right now, so it just made sense that we would push further down into kind of the second deviation area, which is happening now. So what looks like it would be, or what I'm at least predicting, is that we come down to this 1650 area, and this will most likely be our kind of end of this downward move, at least for the next few months, in my opinion. So once we come into this 650 area, I would be looking to get long and having a price target of around the $31 to $27 area, because I wouldn't want to be in the trade for ages. However, over time, we probably would end up actually pushing up more towards the statistical means of around $40. But this move does provide great risk to reward in a sense, in that, let's clear all that as well, is if we are entering around this 1650 to the low just 16 area, even if we're only looking to get back to this first deviation at around $27, that still provides a massive 50 to 60% return. And on this, you could actually risk very little in comparison, because you could have a stop at around 14, just below 1450, so it's still 10%, so big, but obviously when you're doing it in a percentage way, you're risking 10% to make near enough 60%. That is the kind of trade I'd be looking at on Playboy. I would most likely be using options for it though. So on to BABA, which is Alibaba. We're looking for a bit like what we're looking for Beyond Meat. It came into this first deviation here, which we did actually have in Swing Ideas. If you're in the Discord, we did mention it. Came back up to our statistical mean, and now is starting to begin a new downtrend. What's most likely going to happen is we will come back into these areas of support at around 176 all the way down to 166. However, this time when trading it, we did get in with half size here and looked to get into the other half when it came down to this move here. However, you can see it bounced very heavily off this move, and so we didn't get a chance to average in lower. So with this move, we're going to maybe looking to get in with about 25% around this 175 area, and looking to get in with the rest of our size around this 160 level, 166 level if we continue down further. But that is at least what I do think will happen with this stock, is we'll push down to this kind of level, then get its strong bounce off, and I'd be looking to lock in profits either at probably small size around that 176, but the majority coming into just below this $200 level, probably around 195 would be a good key level to start locking in profits. Lastly then, we'll be going on to the ticker SDC, which is Smile Direct Club, and this is why I said we'll leave this to last, because it does provide big risk but also reward. So looking at the chart over time, you can see it's not the cleanest chart, obviously kind of consolidating this area, but overall it was at $1.16 and we're down at around $5. So obviously that's not great, especially if you're looking to swing trade it. Obviously on day trading side it wouldn't matter much, but on a swing trading side you are kind of taking on that risk that you don't want to be going long on a downward stock. For me, my key kind of level where I would start looking to get long on this would be 450. To me, that level just seems like a very low risk entry and would provide massive upside. So if I'm getting in at 450, I'm looking at a price target of around 645 to around the high $6 mark. And if you're maybe a bit more bullish on it, you could even look to hold it to the $9, to maybe even the 10s. Obviously that's being quite optimistic, but what I'm looking mainly to do is get in at this 450, lock in profits around that 680 to around 645 area, so around these key levels here. Now we will actually draw it, and I'll show you why I'm saying it's high risk to high reward. Obviously if we go into a percentage form, the reward to that is around 50%, which is obviously a crazy return. However, on the downside, you kind of don't have any key levels to kind of plot support on. So unlike the Playboy trade where we're looking for that kind of similar return, we had a good level that we could place a stop around that 1450 level. However, on SDC, we don't really have that same kind of areas where we can have a good valid stop. So it's more of a guessing game. For me, I'll probably, if I do end up getting long, be looking for a stop around 15 or so percent, 10 to 15%. I'll be looking to go just below that psychological and hold dollar of $4. So I'll probably be looking to have a stop around 388 will probably be my level that I'd be looking to stop out on. So that's it for the Sunday watch list. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one, and that's it. Peace.